Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad, I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Can you be with me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person anymore. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just, I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, be being a great warrior, maybe with a Mexican.
Let's go! Way pop!
I have to put the joke.
No, hey. Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate you. Good timing.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Oye! Are we here? Estamos aquí, ladies and gentlemen, EnVivo! Lonely Boxing EnVivo podcast. I'm doing our regular Sunday recap with Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicks.
Hopper. Was always breaking it down.
Regular Hopper.
Like it should be. My goodness, guys. Did we witness history yesterday?
Yeah, we definitely did, man. It was a hell of a fight, enjoyable card, a long day of boxing, but now we're here with Long Live Boxing. We're going to talk about it. And, hey, we're not like those big channels where we can draw it out. We're getting right to the good stuff. We're going right to the main event. Why not? Because that's what we want to talk about. Here we are. Let's get to it. Thanks for tuning in. And so without further ado, let's give it to my brother, Manny, who literally ran into the door. I think he tripped over his dog. Shout out to Manny. Let's get to it.
In time, though.
Instant reaction, brother. What's your thoughts on that fight?
Immediate reaction.
Well, I mean, it was a really good trip to Austin with the girls, and I know there was a big weekend in boxing. We knew that. A lot of people were saying, why are they hyping this fight up? It's not a total hype. We just witnessed history. And if you were there last night, if you watched the fight, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, why don't you go ahead and take a look at the replay, man? Because honestly, we were like glued into the like I was biting my nails. What's going to happen? I don't know. One goes down, the other one doesn't. But just to keep it right, simple. I mean, it was great seeing a different state of mind in Wilder. Wilder started the fight really, really good. He started very focused. He's parted ways a little bit with the whole media fiasco and all this, shouting back and forth and, throwing guns at each other. I think he kept it simple. He let the gloves speak for himself. He came in overweight. Hopper, you talked about that. I knew we were going to see, him fading down the stretch because of that. But I just want to say that they were both in great shapes. Fury, I mean, what can you say, Tyson Fury? This is the guy that we want him to continue to get built up. He's an entertainer. He's a great boxer. He was the better man at the end, the championship rounds. And then you got to admire that. He got knocked down twice, and he was able to come back and recover. Wilder, I mean, his stamina and I think the overweight really got to him in the later rounds, but you definitely see a much active Fury. And I'm glad I didn't go to the scorecards for two reasons, because I didn't want a surprise. But other than that, it could have happened that it was another draw, and we got to go see it again. I think everyone can move on from this. This brings me back into the days. I think this generation right now enjoys something that our past generation enjoyed with the Ali, with the Foremans, with the, Lennox Lewis and all these big rivalries that we witnessed in the past. We were just kids, but nowadays we're like, wow, Wilder, Fury, that's going to be talked about forever. And I think, honestly, Fury got the best of it. Damn, what a champion. Hopper, think about it. This guy went down twice in one round. I thought it was over, but he came back up, and it was just one of those things, bro. I was glued to that TV. We're talking to each other, texting, like, what's going to happen now? Anyone can get up and have a great round, and then when you come to the next round, you're going to get knocked down. So total excitement. And, Fury, he was mature. He used his experience, used his body weight at times to kind of, when they were, close to each other, just, pressing down, and that took a toll as well. That's called, maturity in the boxing. So he used every single, old trick in the book to make sure that, he come out victorious, and he sure did in a big way.
All right. So you obviously came away happy. You saw an enjoyable fight. You made no secrets about it. You wanted Fury to win, your team Fury.
Absolutely.
Harper, what's your thoughts on the fight? What did you come away with the fight? And were you team Wilder, Fury, or just a fan drinking beer, enjoying the show?
Just a fan drinking beer, enjoying the show. But what I came away with this was that Wilder came in with the game plan. He came in ready. And right off the bat, punches to the gut, punches to the stomach, kind of threw Fury off balance for a little bit. It took him 2 rounds to figure out what Wilder was trying to do. Well, I mean, you kind of know what he's trying to do, set up that right hand, but he was actually working into it without telegraphing as much as he did in the first 2 fights. So Fury caught on in the 3rd round, and once Fury stepped on the gas, that's when he dropped him. And then in the 4th round, he let on a little too much, and then he got dropped. I mean, you talk about excitement. This was as good as it get for boxing fans. It was a great night for the sport of boxing. It was a great night for us. I was enjoying it. I found out my wife was rooting for Wilder. She had no idea about the history of either one or anything. She really doesn't keep up with boxing, but she was rooting. Come on, Wilder, go Wilder. And I was like, babe, why are you rooting for? You root for Wilder? He's like, well, he's American. I'm not gonna root for the other guy from England. So it makes sense, you know. So I found out she was rooting for Wilder. I was just enjoying it. I was thinking Fury was gonna win, but I guess I was rooting for Wilder. You know, he is American. So the thing I took away from all of this is that Wilder kind of gained back some of that respect that he needed from the boxing world, not just by the way he fought, showing his heart, showing those cojones that he has just to stay up. And his legs were shot from the 4th, 5th round. He was exhausted. Fury landed him some pretty good rights. But not only that, after the fight, he didn't make any excuses. He said, "Hey, the better man won. I did my best, but it wasn't good enough." He took his loss like a man, like everybody was criticizing him for. And I think Deontay Wilder earned more in a loss than he would probably earn much more with the win. But he still gained a lot of respect from the boxing community, the boxing world. Both guys did. It had the sports world, the blaze. I know LeBron James tweeted about it. I know our boy Damian Lillard tweeted about it. He's watching right now. Hey, shout out to you, Damian. Thank you for listening to us all the time. Chad Ochocinco tweeted about it, man. So it crossed over into the mainstream media, the mainstream sports. So hats off to Fury, hats off to Wilder. You guys put on a show. Loved it. Thank you guys. Hope you guys are healthy, heal up, and can't wait to see you guys back in the ring.
Much respect. Absolutely. Yeah, much respect to Wilder. A whole different perspective, thinking, how this guy mentally is completely, beat up and drained, and then all of a sudden come out to this fight. No excuses. I love it. My thought was, why didn't he continue with that same game plan when he actually knocked him down twice? He needed to kind of start with what we started in the first round, taking that jab into the body and leading into that. I was hoping to see that, but I guess you get caught up in the moment, right? That you have this guy ready to go twice. Bell, I think it saved him.
No, he did. In the 5th round, Wilder started pretty strong. He came out just blasting him with some rights, but Fury maintained the post. That's the thing about Fury. The thing about Fury is that he's so damn mentally tough. Like, he recovers. His recovering abilities. I mean, what is he? Wolverine, half Wolverine, but he's the Gypsy King, man. He's a weird guy. He recovers pretty fast, because Wilder was definitely came out guns blazing in that 5th round, because he did have him hurt.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. So did you see and you guys both commented on that. So do you think that the change in the corner, I mean, we hate the way that it happened. I mean, obviously it's not how you want to handle things, but do you think that the change in the corner for Wilder did have a positive impact as far as having a game plan? What's your thoughts, Hopper?
It did. No, it had a major impact. And not only with the game plan actually going into the fight, but leading all the way up into the promotion, you could tell Wilder was different. He was more calm. He was more sure of himself. He was mentally, he knew what he needed to say. He was saying all the right things. And you could tell just Wilder was different. He was ready for this. He put his heart and soul into this. And you can tell that the corner switch really, really helped him. And I know before the show, Max Kellerman was ripping him that the corner switch was about ego and blah, blah, blah. I disagree with that, Max. I strongly disagree with that. I think Wilder needed this change, and it definitely helped him out, because it was not only mentally, but just physically. And the way he came out, attacking the body, trying to box, I think it ended up paying dividends. It threw Fury off guard. It took him 2 rounds to finally figure it out. So the change was great success for Wilder. And even in the corners, you can hear Malik Scott tell him, "You were born with God-given abilities that can end this fight." So he was not only trying to hype him up, but also trying to execute, make him stay with the game plan. So the corner change was great success for Wilder.
I think Malik was a great motivation for him. I think both corners, both trainers were challenged on this fight. They had to go outside. I don't want to say their comfort zone, but they had to get outside to be creative in the way that I'm going to motivate and my guys. See them kind of going down, both of them. What do you tell these guys? How do you make these guys come up in the next round, knowing that only, Wilder got down and then Wilder kind of comes back? And what do you tell these guys? What do you keep that momentum and that rhythm? Keep them focused. And I think Malik did a great job with Wilder, but also I have to give it up with Sugar Hill. He just was he was just superior, watching everything, guiding Tyson Fury. And, a lot of us were questioning the training in Tyson Fury, and I can't question that no more. I think the guy is committed. I love the fact that he's got his priorities set, God, boxing, family, and all that good stuff. But the reality is this guy is tough to get up from what happened, last night and continue to keep that rhythm and the pace and the movements and throwing that jab and using the maturity in the ring to be able to finally, get him caught up. And let me tell you some of those jabs weren't really hurting, Wilder, but Wilder was so exhausted that you can see a jab coming in and his face was just all the way down, dropping the hands. It was a matter of time in where we knew that Fury was going to catch him up pretty hard. I thought it would last 12 rounds, but the 11th round, that was really time to come back. Yeah, well, I was hoping, but
you had money on it.
I was like, man, this guy's just not. I mean, he's getting hit really hard. And even Max Kellerman and all the commentators was, even Lennox Lewis was saying, man, every time he gets hit, hands go down. He's got to be careful because he's gonna get a right hand from Fury, and that's gonna be the end of it. And that's what happened on the 11th round.
No, that's a great point right there. I mean, as far as me for the fight, I think the change in the corner, you're right. It brought a different mindset, at least from outside looking in. He did seem more calm, more focused. I mean, look, he damn near had 2 years to wait, right, as far as the change. And I did see a strategy that he did try to implement, and he had good execution on that game plan. But like anything else, it's ebb and flow in boxing. Once you get hit, people make adjustments, especially somebody like Fury with his boxing IQ. So I was really impressed with how Malik Scott had Deontay Wilder, boxing and using the jab. I mean, I really wish he would use that shotgun jab a lot more. I mean, it shows that it pays dividend, especially working the body. But, Fury made the adjustments he needed to make, and it came out to where it needed to be. Now, question for you guys, quick. Again, shout out to Kano Local Sports. Much respect. Salute to you, brother. And GFunky,
Saludos.
CP in the house. Much love to them. They put out some great, real boxing talk, as they say. Much love to them and what they do. But I got to ask you guys, my brothers, you guys know more than anybody. I trust your boxing minds. Did we see the best two heavyweights last night, or the best two pairing last night? First, you, Manny, what's your thoughts?
I already know what he's going to say.
And I think that this is not the end of Wilder. I think there's a lot of great fights after this. We don't know what's going to happen, if there's going to be a unification from the Undisputed. We know Usyk, it's already there. There might be a rematch. Hey, Anthony Joshua says he's going to take the rematch, and that can happen. And then later on, we're probably going to be able to see, Tyson Fury fighting, the winner of that. But also he can step out and have Fury fight, Usyk, which is going to be a huge disadvantage. I don't know how's that going to turn out to be, but that's way bad. I don't want to, start, talking about that right now. But I think that right now, both fighters are going to have, a tremendous future. And I think Wilder, even though he did lost, and they were like the best heavyweights we've seen in quite some time. Even I think it was a much better entertaining match than anything Anthony Joshua does. Sorry, I'm not trying to keep hating on Anthony Joshua. I'm not. But look what these guys are bringing.
I'm not trying to.
He sustained the amount of punches.
But I am trying.
Level that these guys did last night. I don't think so. And honestly, it keeps me wanting more to see Anthony Joshua and Wilder someday in a fight that will be bombs away.
Oh, I would love that fight.
All right, so I gotta ask this real quick. All right,
I do.
Hopper, give me this
No, I
one.
was gonna say that these are the two best heavyweights. Fury 1, Wilder 2, Usyk 3, Joshua 4th. You know, he's way down the totem pole.
Oh wow, okay.
Fury and Wilder.
Out of the way.
No, Fury and Wilder. What they showed last night. Fury, I think, you know, he's the king of all heavyweights. I think he beats everybody. But I think Wilder, if he was to match up with AJ, with this game plan with Malik Sky in his corner, I think Wilder. I'd give the edge to Wilder over AJ and over Usyk as well, just because of his sheer size and
freaking size.
Right.
It's not,
so yeah,
it's not
I went into the fight. No, great points, both of you guys. I went to the fight unbiased as I could be. You know, obviously,
really?
I'm the PBC apologist, but yeah, I was unbiased.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I wanted to. We apologize on behalf of the PBC. We wanted a good fight last night, and I believe we definitely got an amazing, memorable fight. You know, and I was blown away by the action and really just enthralled by everything that went on in the ring. So I believe, I think we saw the best two guys, you know, fighting last night. I know there's some questions. I know people were really high off of Usyk off his win over Joshua, which is also to me kind of confusing because a lot of people are low on Joshua, but then they're giving a lot of. How can you discredit, you know, a loss, but also give credit to the win? So which one is it? I mean, you're impressed with Usyk, you're not. So anyway, I agree with the ranking.
Don't go to the rabbit hole, Sean. Don't go into the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah. I'm saying, like, which one?
It is
what
it is. And Anthony Joshua should have never gotten beat by Usyk, and that's the disappointment. And it's when I talked about, and I'll keep repeating myself, what kind of Anthony Joshua are we going to see in the next fight? When he is in control, when he has opportunity and a rematch clause, I'll rely on my rematch clause, and who cares what will happen. But when the stakes are high and there's nothing, you know, it's an urgency to perform, that's when he has his bets, and it's not going to happen anytime. So I need that consistency. And, you know, Tyson Fury does it, even Wilder. We see the improvement, right? We see what a huge step up. Does Joshua need a new trainer, need a new path? I don't know. That's something to decide. We as fans, we might think about it, but the reality is you got to step up your game to beat these two guys that just fought each other, monsters at the heavyweights, just a different weight class.
All right, so we have, you know, hold on real quick. So, Kano Local Sports, appreciate the comment. So Usyk beats Joshua every time. All right, so thank you, Kano, for your comments. I'm with you on that. I mean, I've been saying that, and I don't want to get down the rabbit hole, as my brother Manny said, as far as like what mindset. I don't think it matters what mindset Joshua's in. I don't think he has the head movement or the skill to beat a Usyk. Usyk's just all wrong for him. I think it's a bad style matchup. Usyk is just, you know, perfectly designed and the boxer to beat Joshua every single time. Now, Joshua could have a better strategy, but I think in the end result is going to end up in Usyk's favor. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. And I rank Usyk a lot higher overall.
Well. I mean, he's got to be now top two, to be honest, right now. I think Wilder, in my eyes, and I respect yours, Hopper, but in my eyes, Tyson Fury he's the king. He's the king. I'm going to have Usyk number 2 because he's the undefeated.
Yeah, that's fair because he has the other belts.
It's fair to say it, but I'm going to have Wilder number 3, and I think he proved me wrong, and I think he proved a lot of people, and I think he behaved the way he should have behaved in the previous fights. And I think that right now, even Fury thinks that he doesn't seem to have any respect. I think he's wrong. I think that, you know, Wilder always respected Fury, but he just publicly didn't want to do it because of the ego.
No, I think
last night proved it. I respect you. And I think Fury respects Wilder. I mean, he got him a couple of times. And Fury was like, wow, he got me. I'm getting
they respect each other. They respect each other. You have to, especially after 3 fights. And Fury even was on record saying that he's the number 1 heavyweight and that Wilder's the second best heavyweight. He repeated that throughout the promotion. He said that so many times. He said Wilder beats up everybody else. So no, Fury and Wilder, they respect each other, bro. You have to, after you fight somebody 3 times.
I mean,
it's automatic. Even when you fight him once,
you can take it personal, but Fury is an entertainer. Fury is a bully guy where he's going to play mind games with you. Even on the face-off, when the referee, before they begin the fight, did you see Fury's eyes looking at him like a psycho, like watch and see? Those are mind games that you got to play with some guys. And, you know, he knew that Wilder, it's weak in his mind. But you know what? He didn't take that. Even though Fury made him wait a lot in that ring, Wilder, and I was like, whoa, I'm kind of concerned, is still playing mind games, but, Fury stick to the game plan. I mean, Wilder, and he came up in the first round. I was like, wow, this is going to be a different fight. And I enjoy every minute of it. I mean, like, I don't bite my nails often, and I miss the three of them, bro.
It's a 3-nail biter, so that's definitely a good fight. So shout out to GFunky for the comment. He says Usyk's a problem for everyone in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. I think so as well. It doesn't get mentioned as well. It kind of gets dismissed because of Usyk's stature and size. But I think as far as somebody that has the mental fortitude to handle the mind games, to stick to a game plan and to execute that game plan, realistically, outside of the right hand of Deontay Wilder, I think Usyk's the only person that can truly dethrone the Gypsy King. And I think
you think so.
I think he can.
I don't think so at all. I think Fury is just
when it's time.
Fury's just as good technically. I think maybe Usyk technically, maybe he might have him an edge barely, but Fury's a really damn good technical boxer with size and man, I think Fury would just lean on him and just.
The thing is, like we said about as far as skills and technique. A lot of times when he's getting leaned on, like he was leaned on Wilder last night, he could have slipped out of that, or kind of just had him lean forward, and that would have tired out Fury instead of allowing him to get that rest and get those inside shots. But I do digress. So to continue on, as far as
I just want to say before we go on, I just want to say something real quickly, and that's the only thing I will talk about Usyk and Fury. Is my concern there will be is like Usyk works better in the inside, but this is how Fury gets a slight edge when he's on the inside and he pushes out, he jabs you, comes back inside, leans on you, and then throws that vicious uppercut. And that's why at this particular time, I think that Usyk may have a lot of problems with the way Tyson Fury fights.
Definitely. So before we end things off and kind of, we go in reverse, I know a lot of the bigger channels, they've kind of started off with the undercard.
You got to start with them.
We don't have time for that. No one's
start with the steak, baby, then work your way out to the appetizer.
Yeah. We eat our steak first, then we eat the potatoes.
Yeah, we eat the meal, we eat the steak first, and then bring me the fried pickles.
Another comment from my brother G-Funk. Much love to him and the HCP and all they do. I think it would be a hard fight for Fury to lean on Usyk because of the good movement. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true, but that's fair point. But I mean, it's a ring. It's a finite space. He's gonna tangle with him. He's gonna catch him eventually.
We'll see. I mean, hey, we'll see. For that to happen, this has to happen. I want my brothers to comment on this. And thank you for the comment again, G-Funky. So on the 30th of this month, you have Dylan White, who a lot of people are really pushing his name out there, versus Otto Wallin. And then the winner becomes the mandatory, I guess the mandatory eliminator would get, Tyson Fury. And then, of course, the rematch was put into effect, I believe, this week by Eddie Hearn and, Team Matchroom for Anthony Joshua. So the rematch between Anthony Joshua and Usyk is going to happen. So we do have a path, it seems like, for an undisputed to actually happen. It's unbelievable.
There's a path too, but yesterday, if you guys noticed, pretty much everything was heavyweights when it came up to the pay-per-view part of it. And there's a fight, and there's a guy, he's the mandatory right now for the WBO, and that is Robert Helenius. That will be a very interesting fight if he gets if actually Usyk gets to ever fight him after Joshua or before Joshua. So there's a lot of interesting things that could benefit Usyk before he even goes into the undisputed, or if he ever goes to a rematch with but there's a lot of stuff that can actually happen right now. And I think it all boils down to what's my chances, what's my pay, what's my opportunity. And I think it'll be a little difficult to really right now to really go ahead of the game and think what may happen, because there's going to be a lot of money in stake, and it's going to be, where and who. But I'm glad that the UK, it's actually having fun and enjoying right now what's happening at the heavyweights. They got sole possession of all the belts.
All the trinkets. They have all the belts.
They have hopes. They had
Europe has all the belts,
They had hopes of Wilder, but I think that right now Wilder may not be in that position. But there's a couple other guys that we did see him fight, at the heavyweight, and that is Jared Anderson. So he's still young still, but he could be the future of the heavyweights, down the road. But for the moment right now.
Yeah, and then as Nigel brought it up, now it's the mandatories are coming in, and it's going to be even more interesting in the heavyweight division. It's a soap opera that never ends, because you have you mentioned Robert Helenius, But then you mentioned Wallen and White, but then also Frank Sanchez.
Sanchez.
We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that on the undercard. He's put himself in the mandatory position as well.
All right, so let's get to these comments and we'll go ahead and go into the undercard. Because our live is pretty is here and gone. You know what I'm saying? We don't do those 2-hour lives one day, but not today. All right, so GFunky, shout out to you, brother. You say you actually think Wallen on the 30th of October is going to beat White. I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's a good one.
That's a hot take. That's a good one.
You know what? I'd like to hear why you think that, brother. I like to hear
why would you think that? Because he gave Fury a good fight.
I mean, he did look good. I mean, and White does look acceptable to guys with a good uppercut. So you know that for sure. All right, shout out to our brother, the inside man, as I call him, Kano Local Sports. Rematch set to happen in March, from what I heard. So he heard it.
Usyk Fury. Yeah, Eddie Hearn already came out and went public with it yesterday.
Oh yeah, they're not stepping out. They're not taking money. They're not waiting.
Sanchez looked nice last night. Hey, thank you, G-Funk.
Yeah,
thank you. See, Sanchez looked great. And should we go ahead and start talking about the undercard?
We're gonna go ahead and get into it. Hey, shout out to Chicano Prophet. They have a really good podcast show. It's one of my favorite lives. All due respect to GFunky, please don't disconnect. But my favorite live as of right now, other than Kano Locos, because I love him what he has with L-Dub, but my favorite live going right now is El Chile. Like, man, I love that.
Whoa,
live,
you like what?
Well, other live show.
Whoa, Gringo. Are you breaking news here?
You're getting in trouble.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna be hated.
No. I mean, outside of ours. Come on, man.
Stream, bro. Calm down.
All right, I've never been impressed with Dylan White. Well, I think that that's
Me neither. But you got to put him.
When I stop and think about it, I never really have either.
And you know what? I tell you what, bombs away also as well. Dylan White and Wilder. That would be another huge one. That
Wilder's never wanted to fight him though.
There you go. But Dylan White's got to take care of business right now. Can't think about something else other than what he's got in his plate. He's got a pretty rough matchup, so I would stick to that. But clearly the heavyweights are what's in the roadmap for the heavyweights pretty interesting, and I'm glad.
Before we go into the whole undercard, I know I tagged you guys on my Facebook rant that I said earlier, because we already talked about the main event. But in terms of the entire pay-per-view, I can't remember the last time a boxing pay-per-view from top to bottom delivered like the ones last night. We're talking from the very beginning, Jared Anderson. Yeah. He's the next American hope, great heavyweight hopeful, and he's here. He's arrived. He's on the scene. He's beating up Fury in training camp per reports, rumors. So Jared Anderson is the real. He showed up. You had Robert Helenius pretty much derail the Adam Kownacki hype train. Kownacki has zero defense. His defense is blocking punches with his face. So that hype job is pretty much over. And then you had Frankie Sanchez in the co-main event. I know Manny was hating on it. We were talking about it in the middle of the match. I thought it was beautiful.
No, you were hating on it.
Science, just boxing,
I just thought that Sanchez was gonna stick like with the glue there and not move a lot.
It's the Cuban style, bro. It's that Cuban style.
I get it, but then you have
you're not gonna hit me.
More mobile,
FA by like the 5th, 6th rounds, demoralized. You can see him in the corner. His eyes were just, fuck, I can't do nothing with this guy, man. This guy's just too good. So shout out to Reynoso and Team Canelo.
Wait, did I just do them? Damn it. I got to keep doing it.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
Did you see how when they introduced Frankie Sanchez in the footnote, it said spars with Canelo. Like, that's noteworthy.
All right, so we got to get to it because we've gotten great support from our Puerto Rican fight fans. And let's just get to it, right? So there's been a lot of love, and we got a lot of love for them. Manny, I know you were excited for the card for to our brothers. Much love to and shout out to Elcano because he introduced it to Orlando Capu Gonzalez. We were so excited for this fight.
Very excited.
Still very proud for our brother's performance. He fell short. Manny, can you kind of touch on Capu versus Ramirez, and what's your thoughts on that? And then we'll get to Berlanga.
I mean, I think right now, Robeisy, you got to take into consideration, gold medalist. He's a little bit lazy, and that's when he started his career, lost his pro debut, and then all of a sudden he's gotten things together. I think, if he keeps committed into the sport and training and getting to the next level, we're going to probably see a champion here. Capo Gonzalez, every fight he's demonstrated, the boxing skill, the IQ inside the ring. He doesn't have that, and this is one of the things that I'm kind of, I was always concerned about. You don't have that strong power to hold up any attack that's coming to you. It's not the same that I'm throwing you punches and you're landing pretty good, but it's not hurting me. I'm keep going after you. I'm pressuring you at all the times. But if you're pressuring me and I land a really right hand that really stuns you and then I push back, then that's a different story. And that's my concern. I think it's a learning experience. I'm glad that Top Rank is moving some of these guys and matching them. For me, it was a good matchup. A lot of people are talking about this is too soon for Capo. It is not too soon for Capo. I think, it has to happen in someday. I think he had some great fights. He did great with Lopez. That was a huge challenge, huge test. And then you come in, against the Olympic kid. And he showed what he got, trained by Ismael Salas. No joke with Robeisy. What would happen to Capo? Capo will get up from this one. He'll learn. He's a smart kid, and he'll probably going to come back. But it just things that happen in the boxing. I know he tried hard, but always, it doesn't matter about the condition. It's always who's the better boxer, who's the better man. In this case, unfortunately, Robeisy Ramirez just really took the best out of Capo, and we did see the end result.
Yeah, for me, I was most disappointed from the fact of the strategy. I was really hoping that Capo was going to try to work the body more. It seemed like he kind of abandoned his game plan and, got more into a tactical fight that I didn't see him winning. I thought he was going to try to grind it out more and be more aggressive and take a little bit more chances. But easy for me to say, so I was disappointed from that standpoint. But I know Capo's going to go back to the lab with his great team and, come back better than ever. All right, so we got a comment from our brother. Capo is in good spirits. The better man won, but he continued to fight. Yeah, that's another thing. Shout out to Capo. I saw he put the tweet out there, giving the respect to Robeisy Ramirez, as he should. I mean, this guy is an Olympic champ. He beat Shakir Stevenson. I mean, Ramirez. So he's definitely good for sure.
That's a hell of a fight.
Yeah,
so Olympic gold medal.
What's your thoughts on, do you have any thoughts on Capo, Hopper?
I have thoughts on Berlanga. That's where I want to get
All right,
to.
so I was trying to hold on to it, but here we go. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Hopper, and then we'll go to our brother Manny on what's his thoughts on Berlanga, because I'm sure the block's about to get hot.
No, of course not. Of course not. I like my Puerto Rican brothers. Always show them love, support them through and through. Always root for them. Edgar Berlanga needed this. He needed to go through this because you're not going to knock everybody out, especially as you move up with facing the more elite people in the division. You're not going to knock them out. So he needed this. He needed to learn from this. Hopefully, it's definitely a humbling experience getting dropped like that. Coceres, I told you guys about Coceres, man. He was giving Billy Joe Saunders a run for his money before he got stopped. And Coceres was gonna test him, and sure enough, he was reeling him in, and then landed the perfect right counter. Berlanga did not see it coming, and he was upset. He was mad at himself. He was punching his chest on the ground. Coceres landed some great shots. He's teaching him different looks, great mobility. Coceres just never stood there in front of him. And then Berlanga, he's gonna go back to the lab and realize that he's gonna have to use a little more feints with the head movement. I felt he was too stationary. His head just and Canelo had this problem too early on in his career, so it can be fixed. Canelo early on in his career, he didn't really have much head movement. And Berlanga is at that stage right now where his head is just stationary. There's not much movement, and I think he needs to work on that. Also, cutting off the ring. I felt that his cutting off the ring ability right now is not where it needs to be. Coceres was just Berlanga was chasing more than actually cutting the ring off. So, I mean, he needed this. He learned. I don't agree with the scorecards. I felt that was much closer than what the judges had it. Of course, they were going to give it to Berlanga. But I felt Berlanga won, maybe by like a point or two, but just barely. Coceres gave him a tough test, and Berlanga needed this. He's going to go back and look at everything that he did wrong, and he's going to learn from this. He's going to bounce back from this. He's only going to get stronger, baby.
Definitely. So before we hear your comments, Manny, got these comments right here. So G-Funk, much love to you, brother, from the ACP. Growing pains for Berlanga. Absolutely. Pains, literally, all the way. My brother from another mother, Chicano Prophet. I've always had concerns about Berlanga. Me too, to be honest. The head movement thing, it really bothers me.
Yeah, it's just.
I
But
mean,
like I said,
I'm just being honest.
But like
All
I
right,
said,
so-
Canelo used to have that problem too. You know, like I said, Canelo early on, he didn't like when he fought Ryan. I forget the Brits guy, one of the Brits guys. But yeah, Canelo's head was just super stationary, and then he fixed it though, and Berlanga will as well.
Absolutely. Kind of local sports. If Berlanga don't make adjustments going forward, he will lose soon. That's
especially when they match him tougher.
Yeah, as they move up too, especially at that weight class. I would definitely agree to that. G-Funky, good points, Hopper. Getting love from G-Funk, as you should. And Chicano Prophet said, right. So he's referring to me, I'm sure. All right, so no, he's probably not. All right, so Manny, we know you're the biggest outside of, well, actually, Kano is not the biggest fan of Berlanga. It is actually
Berlanga your favorite?
Berlanga, you're the number one fan of Berlanga. You, your pops, your family loves Berlanga. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, I totally agree with what Hopper said. 100%. First of all, it has to happen in his career, and I think that this whole media, I think it's the media to blame, because when a boxer has some kind of skills, power, and a potential to be a future star, you match him up to continue to grow. And that's what I think we did see his first, 15, 16 fights. He knocked them out on the first round. But people wanted to see a better opponent, and you're seeing it, all right? And you've seen it in Berlanga. We did see when Demon Nicholson, that was 8th rounder. That was the first time that he was not able to pass, that he passed over the second round and went on into a clear decision. But he was in trouble, because we've never seen him at the elite level trying to really, run his way and have that strong stamina at the end of the rounds. And although Nicholson was on a survival mode at some point in the last rounds of the last fight, he was still able to learn a lot from him. Down comes in Marcelo, Coceres. We knew it. This is a huge step up. I don't see why people are getting upset at Berlanga, because you guys are asking for a better opponent, and he's getting better opponents, right? And we're seeing that kind of stuff. And I think that the media continues to poke and try to keep hyping things up. I think they need to let this kid alone. Leave him alone for a while. Let him work on his craft. Let him work on some of the areas that he's never been through. He's got a bigger opposition right now. And he proved that he can hang up at that level, but he needs to continue to improve. Head movement, that's crucial, Hopper. Great job. He's just steady staying there at the later rounds, getting hit. Let me tell you something. That punch that he got knocked down, it wasn't a vicious, hard punch. He got him off guard, and he got him really good. But the previous round, Coceres threw some combinations that I think that's when really the first time I think I did seen Berlanga hit really hard, right? And he still took it. He's got the chin, but you're going to have to work and see how you can last and keep that stamina up. You got to cut the ring. You got to have more head movements. You got to have a much better defense to hang around at the 168 pound. The last thing I always want to talk about is I'm already hearing hate at this. And I think it's the fact that this is where Berlanga needs to also quiet himself up. I think he opened his mouth a couple of months ago saying, I'm ready in 2 years from now, I'll be ready for this. And guess what? Once you poke a hole and it hurts, it'll continue to hurt. And that's what happened. He started to poke a hole in Canelo, that I'll be ready for Canelo in 2 years. And now all the Canelo fans are starting to hating, because they were already
hating on him.
This, right? So that's my point. Leave this guy alone. Let him continue to build himself up. He's not ready for any of the champions at all at 168. Congratulations, though. The new NABO champion. He's probably guaranteed a top 5, top 7 at the WBO, and he's going to continue to grow with this. No, he's not ready for a Billy Joe Sanders. No, he's not ready for any of the top 5 guys right now that when you look at who they are right now at the super middleweight, not even Daniel Jacobs is ready for that. He's not ready for Zach Parker. He's not ready for any of those guys that are actually there. He needs to continue to work, right? And endurance, it seems like one of those things that actually because he's never been to that distance at this level. And I think that right now, whether he needs a new training camp or maybe somewhere different to train, he definitely needs to step up his game, because like Kownacki said, you know what? He's not going to beat any of the top guys at the 168. Neither Canelo. He's not even ready for that. So let's stop talking about that crap. Let this guy get built, and then we'll see what happens. When he becomes a number one contender, then we can start talking.
Let this guy sharpen his skills. Why are you trying to get him murdered so far, soon in his career? Let him sharpen his skills. He'll be ready when he's ready.
Right.
No, that's I love the stuff. I love the passion, but I love the honesty most importantly. Great comment from my brother here, GFunkyBoxing from HCP. Top ranked matchmaker told me that they're in no rush for Berlanga.
They shouldn't be.
Even though sources say even though last night felt like that was a test, man. I mean, and Hopper, you called it for sure. Shout out to our brother Run PMC. What's up, G Funk, Chicano, and Kano? Right, much love. Kano Local Sports. A crafty boxer beats Berlanga right now. If you look at it, guys, Kano's actually yelling at us right now. It's all caps, so he's yelling at the screen. Thanks, Kano. Much love to you, well, sir.
Stop yelling, Kano. I can hear you.
Getting fired up, man. Chicano Prophet. Much love to him in the El Chile podcast. Berlanga has time, but he should be further developed. He's already 24 and has been boxing since he was 7. That's a fair assessment, and I'm not going to argue with it.
That is
a prophet is a prophet.
But you also see the immaturity of Berlanga. Let me tell you something. Although he tried to portray something different when he got knocked down by just going like, I got knocked down, but I'm getting up. I think that's what I felt. That's
you know what, though?
Tantrum. That's a tantrum. That's a tantrum that you're like, you can't believe it. You got the audience against you. You're being hyped up so much. The only thing you can think about is, I'm good. It didn't really hurt me, and I'm getting up.
Yeah, I'm mad.
Just get up and be calm. Don't go there. For me,
hey, you know what, though?
Honestly, I really did. That's just to show that I'm still here, and I get it. But that's like a tantrum throwing out there. You got to slow down a little bit and get back to earth. And I think himself.
That's also
Gringo, you know what he said? He said that who brought it up? That he should be further developed. Who commented?
Chicano Prophet.
Chicano Prophet. That's a great, excellent point because you know who's 24 years old and already pretty developed? David Benavidez. He's 24 years old. He's not. They're about the same age. So, and David Benavidez, I would say, is light years ahead of Berlanga right now.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's definitely fair to say. So it looks like we got some comments here I got to catch up on because a brother's not a good reader. Sorry about that. So Kano's still yelling at us. I love my Puerto Rican fighters, but the truth. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, not I, but it's the truth.
Hey,
truth, Chico. It's the truth.
Hey. All right. So Chicano Prophet, I agree. He needs to slow his roll.
Bro.
Remember when he tweeted,
I would have stopped
Callum Smith in 6 rounds.
Chicano
Prophet went there.
No.
Hey, that's totally dismissing.
He will never tweet that.
He won the World Boxing Super Series, bro. Calm down, Berlanga.
Yeah.
Calm down.
All right, so Chicano laughing.
Making things worse.
Chicano laughing. Chicano Prophet at Real PMC. Respect to him. All right, so another comment from my brother from HCP, GFunkyBoxing. I got the video on my channel with Bruce.
We need to check that one out.
Bruce Trapler?
That's the matchmaker for Top Rank.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out, man. If I haven't, I thought I saw it already, but
might have to throw it out there, throw the link out there.
Yeah. Put the link in the chat, man. We'll go watch it. We'll watch it right now together. Shit, why not?
That's cool, man.
Yeah, thank you, G Funk, for that. Kano is still yelling at us.
Hey,
action is what really concerns me more than anything.
You agree with me? You agree with me on that one. That was the diva, childish tantrum, putting up when you get knocked down, right? Am I right about that?
We'll see.
Let's see. You don't have to show the world that you got it. You got rocked. Get up and be firm and come back at it. I was hoping he was going to destroy Coceres afterwards, and he didn't. So why is all that show? That you got knocked down. You're trying to fake the fact that you never thought you were going to be in that position, and you are, and it's devastating.
Miss Ward,
Denise,
shout out to her. Miss Ward.
Everybody give a salute to Miss Denise. Got a lot of love for her, man. She's great. She's amazing. She's phenomenal.
Running on social media, man.
All right, so she handles our social media with our group, which we need help.
She's awesome.
She's phenomenal. Much love to Clarence McClain, man. This guy goes live more than anybody on the planet. All right, this guy goes live on IG. Yeah, every time I go on IG, this man is going live. He does interviews. He's doing an interview right now as we speak.
Right.
This man is amazing, man. So follow this man.
Thank you for the love, Clarence. You're the man, bro. We love you.
Much love, brother. So Denise watching on YouTube, right? She's watching on YouTube and updating on Facebook. Damn, she's good.
Wow,
much love to her. All right, so GFunky, I can't put a link because it's not. Oh, okay, damn.
Gringo will do it.
Okay. Sean, I'll send you. Okay, yeah, please. That'd be great. I'll put it on there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
and use my government name.
Thank you for that, great. It was a great night of action. Great night of action for the sport. We loved it. I think I felt good knowing that boxing took a W because we have some competition with the UFC coming up. Did you see? I hate to go off topic, but because celebrate the great success of boxing that we had last night. But did y'all see the UFC dropped a kind of a bombshell on the same day Canelo's fighting? They're doing their own pay-per-view, Usman and Covington part 2, and they stacked it up with Thug Rose and that Chinese Asian chick and Gaethje's fighting. So they're doing it on the same night as Canelo. So we're gonna have to support our boxing sport and be like, hey, UFC, kick your ass to the curb, man.
Man, I'm gonna get it all depends too, though. Everyone's gonna watch Canelo and watch how
all the Mexicanos will for sure.
It's going to be delayed.
All the gringos
so that way it doesn't interfere.
Fuck that. Canelo said he's not going to take a delay from nobody.
No, we're not doing that no more.
No. But the thing about it is how they put the undercard is what really going to matter because
that's what
you have a great
point, man. I was thinking about that yesterday. Oh, they need to come with the good undercard now.
You got to come with a nice undercard that people will say, listen, I spent $70 on this and it was worth my money. To the point, even the undercards on ESPN2, the prelims, they were fantastic.
Yeah, J-Rock. We didn't even talk about J-Rock. It was J-Rock lost.
Yep, J-Rock lost. I know.
We didn't even talk about that.
I know. What
a
disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. So, hey, good stuff as always. Much love for all the people that
everybody. Thank you guys for commenting.
Any last comments for you guys? First, go to you, Hopper, and then close it out, Manny.
No, just my last thought is what Deontay Wilder. I guess I'm still on. Well, even though Fury won, shout out to you, Deontay. You came in there. You were ready. New game plan. New trainer. You took your loss like a man, and hey, man, I'm excited to see you. I want to see you back in the ring. You'll be back up there fighting for a championship again. You've got the heart, you've got the power. Deontay Wilder, man, I'm gonna eat a lot of crow and a lot of stuff that I said about him in the past about being not being mentally tough. But even in a loss, you can win if that makes sense. And Deontay Wilder, I think, in my opinion, was a huge winner last night, even though he took the L. So, not but respect to you, Deontay. Keep at it. You'll be back, champ.
Well said. Manny, what's your thoughts, brother?
We witnessed history yesterday. Regardless of the outcome, I mean, I totally agree. I did talk a lot of smack on the Stand Up podcast, by the way. Salute to Tommy Rush and all of them. Thanks for the invitation, Tommy. I was out of town, so I couldn't join you all. We'll do it next time. Had a real good party. Invited us. But I was talking about.
You didn't invite me? What the fuck?
Oh, wow.
You knew him longer.
I was talking about that Wilder is not a guy that can empower, motivate, and actually push young generation. And last night he proved me wrong. No childish kind of excuses or anything like that. He took the loss. He's mentally in a better place is what we did see last night. He gave it all. And I think he's going to give us a lot of excitement in the future. And he's got great potential fights. Fury in a beast of its own. Love the fact that he's all about Jesus first. That's great. That's awesome. His career had turned around completely. He's the guy. And you know what? I was telling them my daughter's watching with me last night. And he was like, I told her, I said, watch and see. He deserved the right to sing. And you know what? We heard him singing. It's his show. He deserved it. And he's the entertainer. And people pay for that. And for that, I thank you, Fury, because you're bringing back not only the heavyweights, but the boxing and showing the world, the PBCs, the match rooms, the zones, all these networks, you're showing that you are a true champion that can bring the masses together for one purpose and for excitement and for a show. Thank you, Fury. Thank you, Wilder. My hat's off to you guys.
Man, he just did a bow. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so shout out again to G-Funk and HCP. Make sure you do support all their channels. He does have a video out for Bruce Trapler. I'm going to put this onto the video into the description. I'm going to have the link on there. But thank you to everybody at Chicano Profit.
Thank you guys for your support.
Clarence McLean, who's probably doing like 18 lives right now. Much love to him. Much love to everybody that came on Run PMC. Thanks to everybody. And if you're watching this on replay, thank you very much. Please leave a like and a comment. And no matter what, talk about what people deserve and don't deserve. I don't deserve my brothers. They put up with me anyway. So this is your favorite gringo, favorite brother from another mother. And we are out of here. You guys enjoy your Sunday, man. Great day.
Sunday. How about the Cowboys?